Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here, and it's been a while since I've reviewed an anime, and I'm playing catch up because while traveling and this and that, I didn't really have time to watch any of the new anime that started up. I am going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 3 of Rent a Girlfriend, and like always, I have read way past into the manga where we are in the show, but I separate that because you never know what's going to cut from the manga to the show and this and that, so I kind of keep it two isolated things. So when I watch the show, I don't, and I review it, I'm not going to bring up things that are in the manga or any of that stuff. Just going on face value, what's presented to us in the anime. Um, so, episode 2 left off with Chizuru forgetting her key to her apartment and showing up at Kazuya's apartment. And, after their date and then after going to see the grandmother of Chizuru. And so I was like, all right. And this episode is titled The Return of the Girlfriend. Obviously, it showed in the preview before the episode some hilarity ensuing. So this episode was. It wasn't as humor filled as some. It began with it, obviously. Chizuru trying to go from her balcony over to. From Kazuya's balcony over to her own, and then he goes to help her, and he just, boom, hands on the cheeks. That was the funny moment in the episode. And then obviously when she fell back and then he's on top of her and then they do that, anime stare. And then I'll say, but then the main gist of this episode was kind of going and comparing Chizuru and Kazuya's, like, the way they were raised and their family dynamics. Obviously the main thing that was shown in the preview that was, I thought was gonna make the episode very funny was mommy showed up, but she kind of just, they hid in the kitchen. She knocked on the door. She opened it, looked around, and then left. And she's like, why'd you leave with the lights on? Maybe you went shopping. And, leaving the door unlocked, not really smart of him. And then, she realizes, a flashback in her head of looking around. She saw the purse of Chizuru. And then that was kind of her whole thing in the whole entire episode. Honestly, that was it. And everything else was really just Kazuya remembering what Chizuru's grandmother said to him and how, she needs someone who sees who the real person she is, and she's very needy and she's going to need that support and someone there for her. So, he went on another monologue and a spiel, and it was all right. It was, the best part was her reaction, because she's like, well, they're gonna keep me around. Obviously, that's my job as a rent-a-girlfriend. So she kind of just shrugged everything off. But obviously, they kept panning her face. She had the blushing cheeks. So, I mean, those who read the manga know what's gonna happen eventually. But for the episode, wasn't bad. I'm still wondering why, like, from a anime standpoint, some of these episodes, they go by really quick because there's no real drastic anything. Like, the whole situation of them hiding and this and that was done halfway through the episode. And then there was the monologue, like, we got Chizuru, her upbringing, her parents died, and she told her grandfather she was going to be an actress one day, but now it's just her and her grandmother. So her main thing is she wants her grandmother to see her act on TV or on the movie or something. She wants her grandmother to see her get to that point. And then Kazuya goes on the whole spiel how kind of like he was given everything. He was an only child. He's going to be the successor to take over the store. So his life has been kind of easy. And it led to, Chizuru being like, are you bragging? And he's like, no, and then he goes into the appreciation mode. Where he's like, you get to put all this effort in and chase your dreams and this and that. And that's when he's like, I want to be by your side forever. And, pulled the whole, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you, let me know. So he's like showing that support, and it was, a nice monologue and everything else. But I feel like after how season 1 went, and now, 3 episodes into season 2, the dynamic between the two really hasn't changed. He hasn't changed either as a character. I mean, the lack of Ruka right now, I'm like, well, did we all forget about Ruka? Because even the preview for the next one shows mommy talking to Kazuya, wants to have a chat with him, because obviously I had an issue with one of my friends. My friend watches anime, and he's like, man, the episodes feel so short. He's like, once the credits start hitting, and I just like, all right, let me just, go to the next episode. I'm like, you don't watch after the credits? Like, there's stuff after the credits. I'm like, I it's not like, most TV shows where you hit the credits, that's it. This show, obviously, they have stuff after the credits. So after the credits on this one, towards the end of the episode, before the credits, anyways, they're now at school. Kazuya's walking, bumps into Chizuru as she's, walking. And once again, you figure by now he wouldn't be such an idiot. And he just sits there and gawks at her. And then she does like the whole little open hand, like a wave without actually waving. And then he's just, you know, losing his shit after she walks away, all happy and frolicking. And then mommy's in the corner, like around the corner, looking at him and watching him. Um, and then we got to the credits. I'm still the new OP and stuff like that. I'm still not used to. I really think season one had such a good opening theme song, and video. And then, what else do we get after the credits? He's making copies of papers and printing stuff, and he keeps you know daydreaming that it's just photos of Chizuru coming out of the printer. And even he points out the fact that he's like, this was strictly supposed to be, no feelings, renting a girlfriend, that's it. And then he's like, she has to be aware that he's in love with her. And then he's like, realize, yeah, she definitely has to be. And then, he goes, I mean, why, if she does, why doesn't she go to the agency? We can end this now. And I'm like, man, this makes sense. It's like, why? And it's like, of course we know why. But then it ends with mommy coming up behind him, and he's actually like suspiciously hiding the papers behind his back, even though they're not really photos of Chizuru. They're actually like economic class papers. So it's like, and she's like, we have to have a talk, and then it ends. And it's one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of things that they still bring up, like for inner monologues where Kazuya says he's like, mommy and Chizuru don't know that he saw them talking because he was there hiding. There's a lot of stuff, but it's like, I don't know. I'm curious to see from an anime standpoint how this is gonna play out. It's definitely. I want to say this isn't like a lot of people give this show flack, and it gets trolled and memed on social media constantly. But it is a decent show. It's not bad. I enjoy it. I've had friends who have checked it out and they're like, I didn't even know anything about this, and they're like, hey, this is actually it's pretty good. It's funny. I'm like, yeah. Sometimes you need those run of the mill animes to just watch that are gonna entertain you, but they're not gonna like change your life. They're not. It's not like gonna be like the first time I saw Tenchi in Tokyo, or it's not gonna be Horrormatic, which was one of the first non Dragon Ball, non Sailor Moon animes I watched. That I was like, that got me really into like more comical mecha stuff instead of the Gundams that I was always obsessed with, and it led to like Full Metal Panic and stuff like that. This isn't an anime that's gonna get me into that genre even more than I already am. It's not gonna be like, holy crap, what is this? I need more anime like this. It's like, hey, this is a good anime. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the manga too. But yeah, that was episode 3. I think, it wasn't bad. It was definitely more like the main focus of this was the upbringing of Chizuru and Kazuya, and the differences between it, and more Kazuya kind of, breaking down that barrier of like the client rent a girlfriend and just being like, hey, I'm here to support you. And then he even pulled support you as a neighbor. And I was like, smart line. But if you're still watching the show, if you do watch the show, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to catch up. I believe episode 5 just dropped, so I still got to watch 2 more episodes and catch up. And I got other stuff I got to catch up on from anime and manga. I'm going to be starting to do some more manga videos as well. So if you haven't already, there's a red subscribe button underneath this video. If it's red, you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share the video. Let me know what anime you're watching right now. If you have any anime suggestions, let me know, because I'm always open for anime suggestions. I do the same thing with my Toku videos. I'm like, hey, suggest some Toku. I'll check it out. Same with anime. If you have any anime recommendations, let me know. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.